It'll all happen very quickly. This will rapidly drive prices down, lower interest rates, and put more money into the pockets of American consumers. It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, you know, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does.
That was Time Magazine's Person of the Year, Donald Trump, featured right here, who was, as we now know, lying to the American people. Of course, we all knew that Donald Trump could not lower prices. The only people who did not seem to know that were reporters and the news media, who took his lies at face value and never actually interrogated him or asked him how he intends on lowering prices, especially groceries. And so Donald Trump is walking back those statements. I'm going to have more of that for you in a moment. But also, Donald Trump, in that same interview, admitted that he wants to potentially go after the vaccines that are given to our children, which would be a disaster to the health of this country. So there's a lot to talk about. First, Don Lemon, who used to be at CNN and now does internet stuff, I guess, had this quote about Time Magazine making Donald Trump Person of the Year. If they wanted to make someone Person of the Year, I don't know, they could have done it with any person. They could have done it with someone who's actually stood for democracy, who stands for democracy in the country. And I couldn't agree more. I don't know what is going on that I feel like I'm losing my mind, because so many of the country, the people in this country, the news media, have pretended like this man didn't try stopping a free and fair election. And I don't know why that doesn't matter more. It will always be a huge question in my mind why January 6th never mattered. I don't know why it never mattered. It will matter to people because Donald Trump getting into office is going to be one of the worst things that ever happened to normal, everyday people. And here's one reason why. Because Donald Trump is saying that he's going to look at vaccination programs with RFK Jr., a lawyer and philanderer, but not a doctor, going after our vaccines. Here's more on that.
Also spoke and was asked about vaccinations because he has Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now joining his administration, and whether or not he believes Robert F. Kennedy should go through with some of his proposals on eliminating vaccines. And he was asked, if RFK Jr. moves to end childhood vaccination programs, would you sign off on that? And here's what Trump said. He said, we're going to have a big discussion. The autism rate is at a level that nobody ever believed possible. If you look at things that are happening, there's something causing it.
Donald Trump suggesting there that he believes the wildly debunked theory that autism is linked to vaccinations. That's what just happened? That
is what he said in this interview. And then he went on to ask, do you think autism is linked to vaccines? He said, I'm going to be listening to Bobby, who obviously has made very clear where he stands on this debunked link between vaccines.
Who listened to Andrew Wakefield, the doctor, non-doctor, who came up with this damaging theory, faked a study, had to have it retracted, I believe lost his license then, and had created havoc in its wake. There is no link between vaccines and autism, but he's still saying that it's a possibility?
That's correct.
Yeah, so that is the person who is going to be in charge of our health because of Donald Trump. And RFK Jr. is serious about this because the New York Times has new reporting today that says Kennedy's lawyer has asked the FDA to revoke approval of the polio vaccine. More on that. Aaron Siri and Mr. Siri has filed a petition seeking to cause a distribution of 13 other vaccines. Challenge and in some cases quash COVID vaccine mandates around the country, sued federal agencies for the disclosure of records related to vaccine approvals, and subjected prominent vaccine scientists to grueling videotape depositions. At the Trump transition headquarters in Florida, Mr. Siri has joined Mr. Kennedy in questioning and choosing candidates for top health positions in our government, according to someone who observed the interactions but insisted on anonymity to disclose private conversations. They have asked candidates about their views of vaccines, the person has said. And so this is just one area where Donald Trump is totally trying to dismantle the federal government. It seems like Project 2025 was real, and Donald Trump is doing everything he can to try to make the federal government completely impotent. So he is going after vaccines, I have some reporting right here talking about the grocery prices that he's not going to attack, but he is going after vaccines. He's going to go after the FDIC, which is what, protects our money in banks. He wants to get regulations from that. He wants to get rid of the Department of Education. So there's a lot that Donald Trump said on the campaign trail that was a lie. And the media did not do a great job interrogating him. They're kind of asking him questions now, but it's a little too late. And here's Donald Trump admitting what we all already knew, which is that Trump is starting to walk back his vow to bring down grocery prices. Because as we've said in this channel, when grocery prices go up, they do not go down. That is just how inflation works. And I don't personally understand why it wasn't just kind of said as bluntly as that on our side. I don't know. I would love to know your response in the comments if you think we should have just been a little bit more forthright with people that unfortunately inflation means prices are up forever. But before we get into this, here's a quick montage of Donald Trump during the entire campaign talking about how he's going to lower prices.
We will end inflation and make America affordable again. We're going to get the prices down. We have to get them down. It's too much. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down. But prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast, not only with insurance, with everything. So tomorrow, I will end inflation. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices. I will end inflation. End inflation. Slash your prices. To rapidly reduce inflation, I will end inflation very quickly. End inflation. Slash your prices. We will cut your taxes. End inflation. Slash your prices. We're going to get your prices down. Now we're bringing the cost.
Well, that montage was nothing but a montage of lies, because though Time Magazine has named Donald Trump Person of the Year, he really should be Liar of the Year, because everything he said on the campaign trail turned out to be nothing but falsehoods and untruths, as the news media like to call them, or I like to call them, a lie. Donald Trump is starting to walk back his vow to bring down grocery prices. The president-elect is no longer so sure that he can ease the cost of everyday expenses for Americans. Or was he ever sure? Or maybe he was just, I don't know, lying. So when the president-elect was asked, this is in that Time Magazine interview, when the president-elect was asked if his presidency would be a failure if grocery prices didn't go down, he said, quote, "I don't think so." And then he goes, "Look, they got them up. I'd like to bring them down. It's hard to bring things down once they're up. It's very hard. But I think that they will," Donald Trump said, before going on about how the supply chain is broken and so is, quote, what they're doing with the cars, and how all of this is a problem. And he also said in that same interview with tariffs, he says, "I can't guarantee anything," when he was asked if he could guarantee tariffs wouldn't result in American consumers paying more, something he said wouldn't happen seconds earlier. Quote, "I can't guarantee tomorrow." And I'm just going to go full screen for this, because I don't know why anyone would ever run for president again and tell the truth, because it seems like lies are rewarded in this country. And we have a news media that is obsessed with the next story rather than repeating what is the truth. I just envision a world in which the news media were to keep doing stories on Donald Trump continues to lie about his ability to lower prices with no plan. That could have been the through line the entire summer and the fall. Instead, it was Donald Trump says he will lower prices. And this is just the beginning, because we're all going to find out how much Donald Trump lied and how much he told the truth, because I think he lied about the stuff that he can't accomplish, but he was telling the goddamn truth about all the stuff he wants to do, including grab as much power as possible. And I guess we will just have to wait and see what that looks like in about a month's time. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry this wasn't a more positive video, but if you like the video, hit like in the video. Even if you don't like the message of the video and you like me, hit like in the video. It helps boost this into the algorithm. And if you made it to the end, leave a blue heart so I know, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.